The Hajj pilgrimage is a profound and multi-layered spiritual journey. Each ritual, manasik, is rich with historical, spiritual, and symbolic meaning. Here is a breakdown of the key activities of Hajj and the profound nuances behind them. The main activities of Hajj, in chronological order. Hajj occurs during the first half of the Islamic month of Dhu al-Hijjah. The most common type of Hajj is Hajj al-Tamattu, which is described below. Part 1. The state of Ihram and Amp, entry into Mecca. Activity, entering the state of Ihram. What is done? Before crossing designated boundary points, Miqah, pilgrims perform a ritual purification, ghusl, pray 2 units of prayer, and declare their intention, niyyah, to perform Hajj. Men don 2 seamless white cloths, women wear simple, modest dress. Nuances and significance. Spiritual purity. Ihram is a state of consecration, symbolizing purity and detachment from worldly life. Equality and Amp, unity. The simple white garments erase all signs of wealth, status, nationality, and race. Everyone stands equal before God, embodying the unity of the Muslim Ummah. It is a preview of the Day of Judgment. Restrictions. While in Ihram, pilgrims must not cut their hair or nails, use perfume, engage in sexual relations, argue, or hunt. This fosters self-discipline, patience, and a singular focus on God. Part 2. The first days in Mecca, 8th Dhu al-Hijjah. Activity 1. Tawaf al-Qudum, the arrival circumambulation. What is done? Upon arriving at the Grand Mosque in Mecca, pilgrims perform tawaf, circling the Kaaba 7 times counterclockwise. Nuances and Amp. Significance. The center of worship. The Kaaba represents the oneness of God, Tawhid. Circling it symbolizes the believer's life revolving around God. Cosmic order. The circular motion reflects the cosmic order, with everything in creation, planets, electrons, orbiting a center, all in submission to the divine will. Activity 2. Sa'i, the walking between Safa and Marwa. What is done? Pilgrims walk or run 7 times between the 2 small hills of Safa and Marwa, located near the Kaaba. Nuances and Amp. Significance. Commemoration of Hajj. This reenacts the desperate search for water by Hagar, the wife of Prophet Abraham, for her infant son Ishmael. Tawakkul, reliance on God. It symbolizes the struggle and unwavering trust in God. After her 7th run, the spring of Zamzam miraculously gushed forth at Ishmael's feet. It teaches that struggle is part of faith, and God's help is near. Part 3. The core day of Arafat, 9th Dhu al-Hijjah. Activity. Wuquf, standing at Arafat. What is done? From noon until sunset, pilgrims gather on the plain of Arafat and its surrounding area, engaged in sincere supplication, dua, prayer, and repentance. Nuances and Amp. Significance. The essence of Hajj. The Prophet, Pbuh, said, Hajj is Arafat. Missing the standing at Arafat invalidates the entire Hajj. Rehearsal for Judgment Day. The massive, diverse crowd standing in the open plain, dressed in simple white, is a powerful physical representation of the Day of Judgment. Supreme supplication. It is a day when God draws near to his servants and boasts to the angels about them. It is the ultimate opportunity for sincere, direct communication with the Creator and for having one's sins forgiven. Part 4. Muzdalifah, Mina, and the symbolic rites, 9th-13th Dhu al-Hijjah. Activity 1. Muzdalifah and Pebble Collection. What is done? After sunset on the 9th, pilgrims travel to Muzdalifah, where they pray the Maghrib and Isha prayers combined and spend the night under the open sky. They also collect small pebbles for the next ritual. Nuances and significance. Simplicity and humility. Spending the night in the open, often in basic conditions, is a reminder of humility and dependence on God. Preparation for struggle. Collecting the pebbles is a physical preparation for the next act of obedience. Activity 2. Rami al-Jamarat, stoning the pillars. What is done? Over the next 3 days, pilgrims throw 7 pebbles at each of 3 large stone pillars, formerly pillars, now large walls, in Mina, symbolically stoning the devil. Nuances and significance. Reenactment of Ibrahim and Ishmael. This commemorates when Ibrahim was commanded to sacrifice his son and Satan tried to tempt him to disobey. In response, Ibrahim stoned him at these 3 locations. Symbolic rejection of evil. It is not a literal stoning of Satan but a symbolic rejection of temptation, sin, and everything that distracts one from God. It is a pledge to resist evil in one's own life. Activity 3. Sacrifice, Qurbani, and Halak, Taksir. What is done? Sacrifice. An animal, sheep, goat, cow, or camel, is sacrificed, commemorating Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son and God's provision of a ram instead. Shaving, trimming, Halak, Taksir. Men have their heads shaved or their hair trimmed. Women trim a fingertip's length of their hair. Nuances and significance. Submission and gratitude. The sacrifice is an act of ultimate submission to God's command, echoing Ibrahim's devotion. The meat is distributed to the poor. Rebirth and purity. Shaving or trimming the hair symbolizes the shedding of the past and a spiritual rebirth. It marks the lifting of most ihram restrictions. Part 5. The final acts and farewell. Activity 1. Tawaf al-Afada, the main tawaf. What is done? After coming out of the primary state of ihram, pilgrims return to the Grand Mosque in Mecca to perform another 7 circuits around the Kaaba. Nuances and significance. Completion of the rite. This tawaf is an essential pillar, rune, of Hajj. It represents the culmination of the pilgrim's journey and their final audience with God. Activity 2. Tawaf al-Wada, the farewell tawaf. What is done? Before leaving Mecca, pilgrims perform a final circumambulation of the Kaaba. Nuances and significance. A final goodbye. It is a bittersweet moment of parting from the spiritual center of Islam, filled with prayers for acceptance and a hopeful return. Overarching spiritual nuances of Hajj. A journey of the heart. While physically demanding, Hajj is ultimately an internal journey. The physical rituals are vessels for spiritual transformation, repentance, humility, and renewal of faith. Living history. Every ritual connects the pilgrim directly to the stories of Ibrahim, Ishmael, and Hajar. It is a reliving of the foundations of monotheistic faith. Universal brotherhood, sisterhood. The gathering of millions from every corner of the world is a powerful manifestation of Islamic unity and equality. Sacrifice and detachment. From the simplicity of the ihram to the physical exertion, Hajj is a training in letting go of worldly comforts and attachments. A reset button. A Hajj accepted by God is believed to wipe away all previous sins. The pilgrim is expected to return home as pure as a newborn, committed to a life of renewed piety and righteousness. In essence, Hajj is not a tourist trip but a profound spiritual odyssey. Each step is designed to detach the individual from the self and the world and attach them completely to God.